while we're on the subject of playing in Los Angeles, putting up Magic Johnson rookie-type stats and having a shot that you don't know what it is. You see where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
If LaVar Ball and Donald Trump weren't going at each other, I think LaVar's shot at Luke Walton that we were all knowing was going to come at some point. The fact that he finally took it, I think, would have been far more a piece of catnip for the national media. What has Magic Johnson said to LaVar after all that? Or did they just say that's just LaVar being LaVar and let's all ignore it? What is the strategy here, Ramona?
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of, they don't want to tell LaVar what to do. He's a grown man, and they knew what they were signing up for, and it's sort of anti-Laker to sort of tamp down on anything that creates news, right? I mean, it's Hollywood's team. They don't care, right? They think it's fun. But what they do is they do things like he sits in the family area. You know, there's a certain area that you're not supposed to talk to people, you know, and they'll go, you can't do any interviews over there, right? Like, oh, well, that's where LaVar is, right? I mean, they do little things like that, but look, he's a grown man. I mean, they're watching it and they're monitoring it, and you know, I know people thought that was it came across as a shot at Luke Walton. I don't think it was, because I just kind of have a different take on LaVar and his whole relationship with Lonzo. Like, I sort of felt like that was LaVar saying, you need to kick Lonzo's butt a little bit. Like, really? I thought that was him saying, giving Luke some license to just say, get in there and yell at him. Get in there and push him, because I'm giving you license. And not that Luke needed that, okay? Like, Luke's a great coach, but he doesn't need Daddy's permission to do that. But I think maybe that's the guy who's trained Lonzo his entire life. And when I say trained, I use that word specifically, not just coach. He trained him. So, like, you know, think of it like a trainer. You know, Lonzo's a guy who, his dad says, be here at 9 o'clock and we're going to run hills. He shows up at 9 o'clock and they run hills. He doesn't call his dad and say, hey, I want to get there at 7 o'clock and shoot baskets. He waits for someone to tell him what to do. And so you have to understand that dynamic and how Lonzo's sort of always been coached. And I think it was more advice. I think it was more him saying, like, look, when he's acting like this, when he's in his head a little bit, just go in there and kick his butt a little bit. But, you know, clearly, if there's anybody who understands what it's like to have a dad who may say too much sometimes, might be Luke Walton. Right?
Well done, Ramona. That's why I love it.
Luke's fine. Like, if you know him, he's not worried about it. I think if he starts criticizing teammates, if he starts criticizing playing time, then we had a different story. But if he's just saying kick my son in the butt a little bit, I don't think that's a problem.
Love it. Ramona, always enjoyed chatting. Let's chat again soon.
Thanks, guys.
You got that. Ramona Shelburne. I hadn't heard that part yet. Now that when you think about it, it's just like, hey, you're being soft. You're coaching him soft. I know how to coach him. Looking it through that prism, it does sound like the way that Ramona was talking about it, right? But other than that, seriously, I haven't heard that anywhere. Have you?
That's kind of what I assumed he was. I didn't think he was criticizing Luke Walton. I just thought, be tough on him.
I took it the other way.
It's because you want LaVar to be the bad guy.
The Dallas Mavericks and the Spurs, you heard her say Tony Parker's coming back. You can check it out tonight, live in stunning 4K Ultra HD. Also, the Timberwolves take on the Oklahoma City Thunder this Friday. That's a pretty darn large basketball game with Minnesota at 12-8 right now. Oklahoma City at the bottom of that Northwest Division. That's on Friday night, both on Channel 106, DirecTV 4K at 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, and Friday at 8 Eastern time. Catch all the action. That's your DirecTV 4K NBA report here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.